The multiverse is open.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
And good evening. It's great to have you with us on a busy Saturday. I'm Whit Johnson. As we come on the air tonight, there is a major development in the war in Ukraine. Late word from Ukraine's government that an evacuation has been completed of all women, children, and older adults from that besieged steel plant in Mariupol. Dozens of civilians have been evacuated in the past few days as Russian forces intensified their attacks on the massive steel plant. These images show the extent of the damage from Russian artillery. Elsewhere in the east, a Russian bomb reportedly hitting a school where civilians were believed to be sheltering. Ukrainian government officials posting new images here late today. But Ukraine's forces continue to fight back. The country releasing this video reportedly showing a Russian ship near Snake Island being destroyed by a drone. Tonight, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden seen the refugee crisis firsthand and what the CIA director is now saying about Vladimir Putin's state of mind. ABC's Marcus Moore in Kyiv tonight leading us off.
Tonight, Ukraine saying all women, children, and elderly civilians have been evacuated from the besieged steel plant in Mariupol. New video showing some evacuees leaving the city after months of relentless Russian attacks. A top Ukrainian official saying this part of the Mariupol humanitarian operation has been completed. President Zelensky saying more than 300 civilians were saved from the plant. This undated video posted by pro-Russian separatists shows brutal bombings from the air. New satellite images showing the extensive damage to the plant. But no word tonight on the fate of the last legion of Ukrainian forces still at the plant. Pavel escaped from Mariupol today. He hid with his 8 children in a basement for 2 weeks without food and water, saying he's headed to Zaporizhia, but doesn't know where he'll go next. Russia tonight intensifying attacks. Images posted by Ukrainian government officials show the devastating aftermath of a Russian bombing on a school in eastern Ukraine, where about 90 people were taking shelter. Only 30 were rescued. 6 Russian missiles slammed into the key port city of Odessa, according to Ukrainian officials. Video showing firefighters battling the flames. But Ukraine fighting back, releasing this dramatic new video, claiming drone strikes destroyed a Russian ship near Snake Island in the Black Sea. Several buildings on the island also hit. Ukrainian forces pushing the Russians further back from the Kharkiv region in the northeast, as well as the south. Those new Russian setbacks coming just days before Victory Day on Monday, the date commemorating the Soviet victory over Nazi Germany, including a possible parade through Mariupol. Tonight, CIA Director William Burns speaking at an event hosted by the Financial Times, suggesting Vladimir Putin's new offensive could be just as horrific as the first.
He's in a frame of mind in which he doesn't believe he can afford to lose.
The U.S. announcing another military aid package heading to Ukraine, this time $150 million. And First Lady Dr. Jill Biden getting a first-hand look at the growing refugee crisis, meeting with Ukrainian mothers and children at a school in Romania. The children writing messages on hands made out of paper. Dr. Biden asking one little girl what her message is.
I want to return to my father.
The First Lady reflecting on that moment.
Wasn't it heartbreaking, the little girl that said her wish was to be with her daddy, and then another said, my wish is to go home? I mean, you could see it. Those children really have suffered.
Millions of families still suffering through this war. Marcus Moore joining us now from Kyiv. And Marcus, you're learning more about the people evacuated from Mariupol and their journey not over yet.
That's right, Whit. Hundreds of people were evacuated from Mariupol just in the last few days, and the mostly women and children then had to go through a number of checkpoints in Russian-controlled territory. All of this while under the threat of constant shelling in the region. So, Whit, a perilous journey to be sure.
Yeah, that major operation, Marcus, thank you. Meantime, back here at home, critical fire danger in the southwest, putting millions on alert. What officials are calling a potentially historic event. High winds are forecast to combine with dry conditions, further hampering firefighters in New Mexico, who've been working for weeks to contain a major blaze that has scorched over 170,000 acres. ABC's Zareen Shah tonight from New Mexico.
Tonight, growing concern over unprecedented winds now taking aim at an already monster wildfire in northeastern New Mexico.
With 60-mile-an-hour gusts that can carry embers from way on the interior of this fire a mile and a half, the probability of ignition is 100%.
The Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fire, now the second largest one in the state's recorded history. Wind gusts of up to 55 miles per hour possible over the next 48 hours. The area already gripped by major drought and now facing extreme heat. Hundreds of firefighters now battling two raging blazes that have scorched more than 265 square miles over the last month. At least 170 homes destroyed. The flames inching dangerously close to the Los Alamos National Lab. This week, President Biden approving a disaster declaration for the state, ordering federal aid for recovery efforts.
13,000 homes are under evacuation orders. Firefighters say one fear is that not everyone has left, and they are in the path of this fire. Whit.
All right, Zareen, thanks. And in addition to that extreme fire danger, there's also the potential for flooding in the Northeast. So let's get right to ABC's senior meteorologist, Rob Marciano. And Rob, an active 48 hours ahead.
Very much so. And this wind event, Whit, is going to be different than what we've seen in weeks past, in that it's going to be 2 to 3 days of consistent wind over those dry fuels and extreme drought. Look at these red flag warnings. California to Colorado, New Mexico with the big ones burning into West Texas, where that heat is building. We'll probably see some records fall. Dallas and Houston, you'll be in the 90s. Here's the rain, though, that's been soggy across the mid-Atlantic and southern New England all day long today. It will wind down a little bit for Mother's Day, but most folks will struggle to see sunshine. Whit.
We'll be right back. Next tonight, the urgent investigation into the mysterious deaths of 3 American tourists in the Bahamas. All were on vacation at the Sandals Emerald Bay Resort. A 4th person is hospitalized. Officials say the cause of death has not been determined, but say foul play is not suspected. Next tonight, as the abortion debate intensifies, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is speaking out. According to Reuters, the conservative telling a judicial conference the Supreme Court, quote, can't be an institution that can be bullied into giving just the outcomes you want. Meanwhile, the investigation is underway into who leaked that draft opinion. I'm Whit Johnson in New York. Have a great night.
A supreme leak at the highest court and the fight over Roe v. Wade, plus Putin's Victory Day announcement. Will it mark the end of his war, or has it just begun? Sunday on ABC's This Week.